Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into the director's commentary for Life is Beautiful. This is RJ Maurer, the writer-director of Life is Beautiful. So let's get it going. I want to go through the film, talk about a few intentions I had, and then I got a few extra goodies for you at the end. So right away, there's probably about 3 or 4 biblical references here, as you can see on the right there. The menorah, it's a Torah reference, and we have Eli and Ahab leaving a message on his phone. Kudos to anybody who picked out those references. They were intentional, and they do tie into the story and how everything rolls out for our character, Eli, who in the Torah and Old Testament did suffer from depression, just like our character here, Eli. So, life is beautiful. Such a simple phrase. What I want you guys to take from this whole scene is the color scheme. You notice there's a lot of grays. There's a lot of blacks, white. Very intentional. Everything's desaturated. Kind of gives you like a gloomy feel for this whole scene. And I want you to pay attention to that as the film goes on, because it does change, and it was an intentional change to change the way that you feel about the current situation. As you can see here, still gloomy. So this is where Eli is introduced to our homeless man, who has our simple but awesome message: life is beautiful. Of course, Eli scoffs at this idea. He's like, are you kidding me? What is this guy doing? And then, of course, he sees his original goal. I got something to eat here. So we move into Eli meeting our character, and as you can see already, there's a very noticeable difference in the saturation already. There's some more color coming into Eli's life just by being introduced to this man, which was very intentional. It just, if you know anything about anybody who suffers from depression, they do say that they don't see color as vividly. So this is proven, and I thought that was a really good way to convey the feeling that Eli was having throughout this film, was through color. So again, pay attention to that, because it is a big part of my vision for this film. Of course, Eli wants to give back just after this simple little message, but of course, as you know, he invites him to eat lunch instead. And then we move on to lunch. Of course, he wants to bring his sign and inspire others. Also, this sign opens up. Pay attention to that shot. And we have, if you can still see, the walls, the dirty plates, dark, still dark, drab. He's looking around. He's noticing all the negative right now. The cobwebs, the dirty plates, the noise in the cafe. He's still not convinced by this method, you know. And you can still see the colors. There's very lack of color. Still a lot of gray, dark black. And already you can see, just as he's talking, there's a boost in color, a boost of life into Eli's mood. And I had a really fun time lighting this scene, because I felt like we got a really good, you see the accented hair light there on both actors. It separates them from the background, as well as the background. There's backlights as well to separate the background from the actor even more on the shoulders. I wanted that little glow on the walls to kind of separate them, so it's not just like a black wall. As you can see, the wall here is just already, it's so much more vibrant than it was just, 10, 20 seconds ago into the conversation. It's almost like, as you watch, more saturation is added, because it is. And it just, there's more life and vibrance bred into Eli's life as he talks to this man who is touching his life in ways that he cannot imagine yet. I really also like the mixture of natural and or available and fill lighting. It worked out really well. Also, a lot of the cutaways here were really important for not only for Eli's reactions, but just kind of the impact of what the man was saying. And at this point, you really start to realize this guy is not, just some homeless man. Because he isn't. He's not just a homeless man. I want you to take from it what you think. Take from it what you will. But this phrase here, I breathe and I have breath, is again another Torah/biblical reference, in reference to a Hebrew translation of "for God." Again, now look at everything. It's so vibrant. He's looking around the fan. He saw the whole fan now, not just the cobweb. He saw the sign again. It was very nice and vibrant. And now he's deciding, you know what? I'm going to make a change too. I'm going to do something positive. I'm going to stop being mopey, and I'm going to make a positive change in my life to make positive influences. And what does he do? From the beginning, his mom was wondering, where's my son? I need some help. What is it? He goes and he sees his mom. Simple. It's a simple thing that he does, but just great. And this song, I love this song. I made it in Logic, and at the time I was watching a lot of film. I'm always watching movies, but I really felt like it had like a true romance. If you've ever seen the movie, like Tony Scott kind of feel to the song, and that's what I was kind of going for, like this really cheerful, really makes you feel good, and then just close it with a really inspirational quote. I really want you to understand that message. As we roll into here, you can see that I was changing the lighting, what I was talking about earlier, that glow. I wanted that glow on the background. And you see I just raised the light here, and it went from just like a solid brown background to boom, now we have that nice glow. And that's a small change, but big difference. For any of those who were wondering, why he was sitting on a ledge at first, and all of a sudden, oh, now he's on the curb. Well, this is why. As you can tell from the scene, just by the tree, audio was atrocious, so we moved just slightly over, and look at the sign. He can't even barely hold the sign because it's just blown around. The wind was just really bad, and right here you can tell I'm saying, hey, this audio is not good. We need to move and do something about it. So that's what we did. And there were 2 shots here that I got using a slider that I have. I really like sliders, and I really think that they kind of add a little dynamic to your shot. As you can see right here, it's a really cool shot. The only problem here is when I was editing it, you can just kind of tell that it breaks the 180 rule. And of course there's nothing wrong with breaking the 180 rule, but he was on the right and then he was on the left. But it just, moving from a stationary shot to a moving shot and then back to a stationary shot, especially one that breaks the 180 rule, it just doesn't look right. And when I edited it together, I just decided to cut it because of that. But I really liked the shot. Same thing here. I really liked this moving shot. I did have more takes than this, some that were more steady, but you get the idea of what I wanted here. Just like this kind of moving shot of them in the cafe. Again, the problem came from moving from a stationary shot to a moving shot, and then back to a stationary shot again. So that was cut as well. And that about does it. Thanks for tuning into my commentary for Life is Beautiful. I really enjoyed making this film. Editing it reminded me why I wrote it and what the inspiration came from. So I really hope that you got the positive message that I wanted to portray in this film. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you.